A grieving mother has kept her son's body for half a year. She refuses to bury him. Instead, she asks the funeral workers to preserve him, seal him, and place him inside an expensive coffin, hoping that one day, when technology is advanced enough, her son can be brought back. In the funeral business, this request is almost impossible to accept. According to tradition, when someone dies violently or too young, the soul may be trapped in suffering. Only a proper Taoist ritual, known as breaking Hell's Gate, can help the spirit leave that pain behind and move on. So no funeral agent in the district wants to touch this case. But Dominic Nye does not understand the weight of these rules yet. He used to be a wedding planner. During the pandemic, his business collapsed, and out of desperation, he decided to enter the funeral industry. Through his girlfriend Jade, he takes over a funeral shop from her retiring uncle, Uncle Ming, hoping to rebuild his life by working with the dead. At first, Dominic treats the job like a business opportunity. He follows Uncle Ming through the basic process: clean the body, prepare the funeral, handle the burial, return the belongings to the family. But after his first case, Dominic immediately washes his hands again and again, terrified that even the smell of death might remain on him. Uncle Ming understands. Dominic is new. So instead of scolding him, he explains how Hong Kong's funeral business works. There are two sides to the profession. The civil side, represented by people like Uncle Ming, handles arrangements, paperwork, clients, and logistics. The ritual side is led by Taoist priests, also called Nam Mo masters, who guide the dead through ceremonies and help the living say goodbye. One of the most important rituals is breaking Hell's Gate, where the priest uses traditional movements, chants, and symbolic tools to guide the soul out of suffering. Uncle Ming's longtime partner is Master Hello Man, one of the most respected Taoist funeral priests in the area. Master Man is strict, old school, and completely devoted to tradition, but his own family is far from peaceful. During one funeral ceremony, while Master Man is performing the ritual seriously, his son Ben secretly watches a soccer match in the background. To Master Man, this is unforgivable disrespect toward the dead. He can barely contain his anger during the ceremony. Once it is over, he scolds Ben harshly. Just then, Uncle Ming arrives and saves Ben from an even worse lecture. Uncle Ming is getting old and wants to transfer the funeral shop to Dominic, so he comes to inform Master Man. But Master Man is not impressed. To him, Dominic is a former wedding planner who knows nothing about death, tradition, or reverence. He believes Dominic will quit after a few days, but Dominic is determined to make the business work. He begins by cleaning out the old shop. Outdated furniture is thrown away. The space is reorganized. Unfortunately, among the things he throws out is a rattan chair that once belonged to Master Man's late wife. When Master Man discovers this, he explodes. Dominic quickly has the chair recovered and later visits Master Man with a full table of meat dishes to apologize. But Master Man is vegetarian. The apology goes terribly. Still, Dominic does not give up. Instead, he brings his wedding planning mindset into the funeral business. He creates package deals. He designs funeral keepsakes. He even treats guests almost like wedding attendees, giving them thoughtful gifts to take home. The approach is unusual, but it works. Soon, Dominic gets his first major client. A couple wants to hold a special funeral for the husband's younger brother. Dominic immediately pitches a customized plan and wins the job. He wants to use this funeral to make a name for himself. He even arranges a live stream. But on the day of the funeral, everything goes wrong. The workers he hires refuse to dress the body unless they are paid more. The makeup artist is careless. Dominic had outsourced these tasks because he still sees the dead as unlucky and uncomfortable to touch. But that decision makes the whole funeral unstable. Then he makes an even bigger mistake. After learning that the deceased loved sports cars, Dominic drives a paper Maserati into the funeral hall as a flashy tribute. But he fails to realize that the man died in a car accident. The family is horrified. Master Man is furious. To him, Dominic has turned a funeral into a marketing show. He is trying to please clients without truly respecting the dead. Dominic apologizes over and over and promises he will be more careful. Only then does Master Man reluctantly let it go. Not long after, Dominic meets Miss Yan, the grieving mother who refuses to bury her son. Everyone else has rejected her request. Dominic accepts it immediately because the money is good. Master Man strongly opposes the case. He believes refusing refusing burial traps both the dead and the living. But Dominic has had enough of being ordered around. He says they are partners, not master and servant. He is taking the case. Master Man storms away. Without Master Man's help, Dominic asks Ben to assist with the preservation work. Ben is already under pressure in his own life. His wife wants their son to enter a top school, and to improve his chances, Ben has joined a Catholic church to earn school-related points. Ben grew up following Taoist tradition with Master Man. If his father finds out, it will be seen as betrayal. Dominic promises to keep the secret if Ben helps him, but when Ben sees the body, even he cannot handle it and runs out. Dominic is left alone. He forces himself to continue. Then, just when he is struggling, Master Man returns. He could not trust Dominic to handle it alone. Master Man's experience and steady hands saved the situation. Watching him work, Dominic begins to calm down. For the first time, he stops thinking of this as a dirty job. He starts treating the body with care. As he cleans, prepares, and helps the mother say goodbye in the only way she can, Dominic's fear slowly turns into respect. When the work is done, Miss Yan breaks down and thanks him. She says he did not treat her like a crazy woman. Her gratitude changes something inside Dominic. For the first time, he understands that funerals are not only for the dead, they are for the living too. They help the people left behind survive the impossible. Even though the boy is not buried in the traditional way, Master Man still performs the breaking Hell's Gate ritual for him. Afterward, Master Man tells Dominic that the dead must be allowed to move on. When his own wife died, Master Man was so devastated he almost wanted to follow her. But he still stayed alive for his children and performed the ritual properly, because real love means letting the dead go. Those words stay with Dominic. From then on, he approaches the work differently. He stops treating funerals like sales events. He starts learning how to dress and prepare the dead himself. He learns to serve the family with patience instead of performance. He begins to understand his role. Death is a door, and he is someone who helps people reach it with dignity. Master Man sees the change and begins to respect him. This matters because Master Man has no clear successor. His son Ben does not truly love the work. He sees being a Taoist priest as a way to make a living. His daughter Yuet, however, has always wanted to become a Nam-Mo master, but old tradition says the role is passed to men, not women. Master Man refuses to consider her. That belief creates deep tension at home. One day, Ben's wife accidentally places underwear on top of a Taoist robe while doing laundry. Master Man rushes over in panic, saying women are impure and this will damage the ritual power of the robe. His daughter Yuet cannot accept this. She asks why women are considered dirty. After a heated argument, she leaves. Whenever Yuet fights with her father, she goes downstairs to the wonton shop run by Lin, a warm, older woman who has become almost like a mother to her. Lin comforts her. Yuet, who works as a paramedic, checks Lin's health and reminds her to take care of herself. But Yuet carries a heavy burden of her own. As a paramedic, she sees death constantly. One day, she tries desperately to save an elderly man whose heart stops in the ambulance, but she fails. Every failed rescue breaks her a little more. To escape the pain and loneliness, Yuet has been involved with a married coworker. She knows it is wrong. After one more encounter, she finally ends the relationship. Then tragedy strikes closer to home. Lin collapses from a sudden heart attack at her restaurant. Yuet rushes in and performs CPR, refusing to stop even when it is already clear that Lin is gone. Only when another paramedic tells her there is nothing more she can do, does Yuet finally break down. For someone who faces death every day, losing someone she loves still cuts through her like a blade. Dominic handles Lin's funeral. While preparing her, he learns that Lin was nearsighted, so he buys a pair of glasses and places them with her, afraid she might not see the road ahead clearly. This small gesture deeply moves Yuet. It shows her that Dominic is no longer just doing a job, he is caring. As time passes, Yuet slowly learns to live with Lin's absence. Dominic, meanwhile, receives another unusual case. Mr. Lai has lost his wife, but he shows almost no grief. He does not even prepare burial clothes for her and insists the funeral wait until the stock market closes. Then, a woman named Soso appears at the funeral hall. She was the deceased woman's former lover. Mr. Lai immediately becomes possessive and orders her to leave. He tells Dominic not to let her near his wife. wife. Dominic is confused, but he follows the client's order. Later, while Dominic and his assistant prepare the body, Soso returns. She does not argue. She simply gives Dominic a sweater and asks him to put it on the deceased because she was always afraid of the cold. Seeing the sincerity in Soso's love, Dominic changes his mind. He lets her in. He prepares the body carefully, step by step, then gives Soso time alone to say goodbye. Soso kisses the woman's forehead and places a ring on her finger. In life, society never allowed them to fully belong to each other. In death, this small gesture becomes their delayed wedding. After the cremation, Dominic secretly places a portion of the ashes into a pendant and gives it to Soso. By rule, the ashes should go only to the legal family, but Dominic believes that, in law, Mr. Lai was the family. In love, Soso was. When Master Man finds out, Dominic expects to be scolded. But this time, Master Man only asks whether Dominic charged extra for it. Dominic sighs and finally explains his own pain. Before this, he struggled for years. Then he found stability in the wedding industry, only for the pandemic to destroy everything. He mortgaged his home to pay his employees, but the company still collapsed. Now he has crushing debt every month. That is why he cares so much about money. But after working in funerals, he has learned something. Maybe the dead need breaking Hell's Gate, but the living need it even more. Those words move Master Man. For the first time, he sees Dominic not as a shallow businessman, but as someone who is learning the soul of the profession. Before Dominic leaves, Master Man stops him and brings out his treasured tea. Dominic understands what this means. Master Man has accepted him. The old priest and the new funeral director finally become real partners. The next day, another funeral begins. Ben puts on his ritual robe, ready to perform Breaking Hell's Gate. But Master Man suddenly appears and orders him to take it off. He says Ben no longer has the right to perform the ritual. Master Man has discovered that Ben joined a Catholic church. To him, this is betrayal. But Ben does not care about tradition the way his father does. He says he believes in whatever helps him. If Catholicism helps his son get into a good school, he will follow it. If Taoist rituals make money, he will perform them. The argument explodes in front of the grieving family. Master Man is so angry that he collapses. He survives, but the stroke leaves him paralyzed from the waist down. When Ben and Yuet rush to the hospital, the doctor says only one person can visit him first. Neither of them wants to go in. Inside the room, Master Man is no longer the powerful priest everyone feared. He is just an old man with a long, lonely sigh. Outside, the weight of his illness crushes both children. Yuet wants to discuss taking turns caring for him, but Ben says he is taking his wife and son to Australia. He has spent his whole life under his father's pressure. He never got to choose his own path. Now he refuses to do the same thing to his son. Yuet is furious. She wanted the path Ben was forced to take. She loved funeral rituals. She wanted to inherit the tradition, but because she was a woman, she was denied. One rule destroyed both siblings in opposite ways. Soon, Ben leaves with his family. When Master Man returns home, Ben's things are gone. He says little, but everyone can see he misses his son. He often asks Yuet how Ben is doing in Australia. One day, while praying to the ancestors, Master Man loses control of his body. Yuet hurries to help him clean up, but Master Man, proud and ashamed, slaps her and tells her not to touch him. The slap freezes Yuet's heart. She hides in her room, hurt and exhausted. Master Man tries to bathe alone, but falls in the bathroom. Yuet rushes in to help him. This awkward, painful care becomes their new reality. Yuet does not know where she stands in her father's heart. Later, she asks Dominic to help bathe him. Afterward, on the rooftop, Yuet opens up. She tells Dominic she and her father are almost the same. She admired him as a child. She secretly learned the rituals by watching him, but because she was a woman, he refused to let her become a Nam-Mo master. After her mother died, the silence between father and daughter only grew heavier. Then something changes. One day, Yuet is walking with Master Man when the wife of her former co-worker appears, accusing Yuet of having an affair and slapping her in public. Even though Master Man is disabled, he uses all his strength to protect his daughter. The scandal is humiliating, and Yuet hides in her room afterward. She expects her father to lecture her. Instead, he knocks on the door and simply asks her to help wash his hair. That small request becomes a bridge. For the first time in a long time, they talk. Yuet asks whether he has ever been proud of her. Master Man says nothing. This is the pain of many families. Harsh words come easily. Tender words get trapped in the throat. That night, Master Man refuses his bland, patient meal. funeral, Dominic quietly slips him his favorite walnut pastry. Master Man lights up like a child. Then he notices a lucky bamboo plant blooming near the window. In folk belief, when lucky bamboo blooms, the family may scatter. Master Man seems to sense that his time is near. He asks Dominic to prepare a suit for him to wear after death. The old traditionalist is slowly accepting change. Then he gives Dominic the business license for the funeral shop. It is not just paperwork, it is trust. Dominic is moved. That night, he and Master Man talk for a long time. Two men who once clashed over everything now understand each other deeply. When Dominic returns home, his girlfriend Jade gives him shocking news. She is pregnant. She wants to keep the baby. Dominic does not. He says they are older now. They are in debt. They cannot give the child a stable future. Deep down, he is also afraid. He has seen too much death. He cannot bear the idea of loving a child, only to face separation one day. Jade still wants the baby. For her, this may be her last chance to become a mother. The next morning, Hewitt tries to wake Master Man. He does not respond. When she touches his hand, she realizes he has died. She does not collapse. She begins handling his funeral. Dominic arrives and receives a letter Master Man left behind. In it, Master Man asks Dominic to host the funeral. He also asks for Hewitt and Ben to perform Breaking Hell's Gate together. Following Master Man's wish, Dominic prepares the body with care. He dresses Master Man in the suit he requested. Then he pours him one final drink and thanks him for everything. When the funeral begins, Ben returns. Uncle Ming and many Taoist priests arrive to send Master Man off. Then Dominic announces that today's ritual will be performed by both Ben and Hewitt. The room erupts. Many priests object, saying women are not allowed because they are impure. Dominic pushes back. He asks if they were not all born from women too. And if women are so impure, why do some of them treat women very differently when it suits their desires? His blunt words anger the priests, and many of them walk out. Only a small group of family and true friends remains. Dominic gives Hewitt the letter. Now she knows this was her father's final wish. For the first time, Hewitt puts on the ritual robe she has dreamed of wearing since childhood. With Ben beside her, she begins the movements she had secretly practiced for years. The chants rise, the flames burn, the ritual begins. When Hewitt holds her father's spirit tablet and leaps over the fire basin, she is not only helping him cross over, she is crossing something too. The bitterness between father and daughter, the pain of being rejected, the cage of a tradition that said she was unworthy. In that moment, Hewitt is freed. Ben and Hewitt also let go of years of resentment. Their father's funeral becomes their own healing. After witnessing Master Man's final farewell, Dominic begins to see his own life differently. He had rejected Jade's pregnancy because he feared he could not be a good father. He feared debt. He feared loss. He feared loving someone and one day having to say goodbye. But life is not about avoiding the final stop. It is about treasuring the ride while we are lucky enough to share it. After the funeral, Dominic holds Jade's hand and walks home with her. This time, he is ready to take responsibility, ready to welcome their child, ready to live with courage instead of fear. The Last Dance is a 2024 Hong Kong drama directed and written by Anselm Chan, starring Dayo Wong as Dominic Nai, Michael Hui as Master Hello Man, Michelle Y as Hewitt, Chu Pak Hong as Ben, Catherine Chow as Jade, and Paul Chun as Uncle Ming. The film follows a struggling wedding planner who enters the funeral industry after the pandemic and slowly learns that funerals are not only about the dead, they are about the living. At first, Dominic sees death care as a business. Packages, marketing, clients, money. But through each funeral, he begins to understand that every body carries a story, and every grieving person carries a private hell. Some cannot let go of a child. Some are denied the right to mourn the person they loved. Some are trapped by family expectations, gender rules, or words never spoken. That is why breaking Hell's Gate becomes more than a ritual. It is a metaphor. The dead may need to be guided out of suffering, but the living need to be freed too. Freed from guilt, freed from regret, freed from old rules that have hurt families for generations. Master Man begins as a man who clings to tradition, but by the end, his final act is to let his daughter step into the role she was always worthy of. Hewitt does not only send her father off, she also receives the blessing he never knew how to say out loud. And Dominic, once afraid of death, learns how to live. That is the quiet power of this movie. It reminds us that death is not something we can outrun, But if we dare to face it with tenderness, dignity, and honesty, then grief does not have to become a prison. Goodbye does not have to mean forgetting. And love does not end just because someone has crossed to the other side. Sometimes the living are the ones who need the ritual most. Because only after we break our own hell can we keep walking forward. That's all for today's movie recap. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, comment, and share.